Hi children, welcome back. In the previous class, we learned some part of the play The Dear Departed Part 2, and let us learn the remaining part of the play. Before going to today's class, let us have a brief look on summary of the previous part. Victoria is glad that Abel is not dead. Abel asks them why they are in mourning. Mrs. Slater invents an excuse and tells that Ben's brother has died, and they are going to his funeral. Abel says, perhaps they have been waiting for him, and then he tells them to sit and have tea. Then he asks Mrs. Slater and Henry about his bureau. Mrs. Jordan explains to him all what has happened. Elizabeth blames her sister for stealing, and the two sisters start quarreling. Their integrity is exposed. This is the summary of our previous class. Now, shall we move on to next one? Here you can see the slide. Abel says, it didn't take you long to start dividing my things between you. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Since your mother died, I have lived part of time with you, Amelia, and part with you, Lizzie. Well, I shall make a new will, leaving all my bits of things to whoever I'm living with when I die. How does that strike you? Mrs. Jordan, you know, Father, it's quite time you came to live with us again. We'd make you very comfortable. Mrs. Slater, no, he has not been with us as long as he was with you. Mrs. Jordan, I may be wrong, but I don't think Father will fancy living on with you after what has happened today. Let us know what happens after the previous class. In this part, Abel says it hasn't taken a lot of time to divide the things between them. Here, them means Elizabeth and Mrs. Slater. Since his wife death, he has been living with Amelia and Lizzie. Here, Lizzie means Elizabeth. So he decides to make a new will, leaving all his property or things to whoever he is living with when he is dead. Here, will means a legal document that say what is happened to somebody's property after his or her death. Jordan asked her father to come and stay with her, and Mrs. Slater also asked the same. But Jordan says her father may not be comfortable with them after what happens today. Children, have you understood about the passage? When Abel says that he is going to change his will, his two daughters ask their father to live with them. Now, let's move to the next one. Abel, it seems to me that neither of you has any cause to feel proud about the way you have treated me. Mrs. Slater, if I have done anything wrong, I'm sure I'm sorry for it. Mrs. Jordan, and I can't say more than that too. Abel, it's bit late to say it now. Neither of you cared to put up with me. Mrs. Slater and Mrs. Jordan, no, father. Abel, you both say that because of what I had told you about leaving my money. Well, since you don't want me, I'll go to someone that does. Ben, come on, Mr. Merriweather, you have got to live with one of your daughters. So let us know the meaning of this part. Then Abel says he is not proud of his daughter's behavior. Both of the daughters ask him to forgive, but Abel says it's too late now. Then neither of his daughters took good care of him. Again, both ask apology. Abel says that his daughters are asking him to stay because of new will, and he says since they don't want him, he wishes to go to someone that take good care of him. Then Ben asks Abel that he should stay with one of his daughters. Here, Abel understands his daughter's intention and says he doesn't want to stay with them and wants to go to someone who cares him. And here, easier. Children, now let us read the next lines. Abel, I will tell you what I have got to do. On Monday next, I have got to do three things. I have got to go to the lawyer and alter my will. And I have got to go to the insurance office and pay premium. And I have got to go to St. Philip's Church and get married. Ben and Henry, what? Mrs. Jordan, get married? Mrs. Slater, he's out of his senses. General consternation. Abel, I say I'm going to get married. Mrs. Slater, who to? Here, meanings out of senses. It's a phrase. Silly, being silly, senseless, and crazy. Consternation. It's a noun. A worried, sad feeling after receiving an unpleasant surprise. Now, let us know, children, let us know what Abel is going to do on Monday. Here, Abel says that he wants to do three things on Monday. First one is to go to lawyer to change his will and to go to insurance office to pay premium. And third one is to go to St. Philip's Church to get married. Everyone shocks when Abel says that he is going to get married. Everyone thinks that he's gone mad. Here, he's out of his senses means being silly, senseless, crazy. When they hear the decision of Abel, daughters and son-in-laws get worried. Here, consternation means a worried, sad feeling after receiving an unpleasant surprise. When the daughters and sons-in-law hear the decision of Abel, daughters and sons-in-law get worried. Then Mrs. Slater asks whom he is going to get married. Here you can see a picture when Abel says about his decision, how they are shocked when they hear the decision of marriage. Here, let us know what will happen after Abel says his marriage proposal. And let us continue the next lines. Abel, to Mrs. John Shorrocks, who keeps the Ringo bells. We have had it fixed up a good while now, but I was keeping it for a pleasant surprise. He rises. I felt I was a bit burden to you, so I found someone who would think it a pleasure to look after me. We shall be very glad to see you at the ceremony. He gets to the door. Till Monday, then 12 o'clock at St. Philip's Church. Opening the door. It's a good thing you brought that bureau downstairs, Amelia. It will be handier to carry it across to the Ringo bells on Monday. He goes out. The curtain falls. In this passage, some meanings are here. A good while idiom, for quite some time or a long time. Burden means it's a noun. Responsibility that causes worry or difficulty. Ceremony, noun, a traditional occasion. Here, marriage, handier. Adjective, it's an adjective word. Meaning is easier. So let us know the meaning of this passage. When Mrs. Slater asks Abel whom he is going to get married, then Abel replies that he is going to get married to Mrs. John Shorrock, who owns Ringo Bell. Here Ringo Bell is the name of the restaurant. Here you can see the picture of Ringo Bell in the slide. Then Abel continues that it is fixed a while ago and he wants to surprise them since they thought he was a big burden for them. He found someone who would think that it would be pleasure to look after him. And he gets to the door, says that he will be glad to see them at the ceremony on Monday at church. And he says that it's a good thing that Amelia brought bureau downstairs so that it will be easy to carry across to Ringo bells on Monday. And he goes out. The curtain falls means the play ends. Children, have you understood what happened at the end of the play? In the last scene, Abel decides to marry Shorrocks at St. Philip's Church. We cannot guess and expect this twist. Now, let's have a look on summary of this play. Here is the summary of the last part. Abel comes to know the reality and tells them that he would change his will. He would give the money and things to the one with whom he lives. Both the sisters tries to persuade him to live with them, but he says that it is a bit late. He declares that he will do three things on next Monday. They are to go to lawyer and change the will, to pay the insurance premium, and to get married to Mrs. John Shorrocks, who keeps the Ringo bells at St. Philip's Church. He invites all of them to attend the marriage celebration. Finally, Abel says thanks to Mrs. Slater for shifting the bureau down so that it will be easy to carry it to Ringo Bells across the street, and he leaves. Thus, the play ends with the decision of Abel to have a remarriage in old age. Okay, children, let us know the main elements in the play. In this lesson, there are many comic elements in the play, The Dear Departed Part 1 and Part 2. All the elements in this play are sarcastic. The main elements in the play are first one is to instruct Mrs. Slater to her daughter Victoria to change her dress. Next, the way the Slater stole the things of the grandfather. Here, things means slippers, bureau, and mantelpiece. Next, the attitude of the two sisters over looking after their father. Next, the behavior of the two daughters without any individuality. Here, the Ben and Henry, they don't have any individuality. They always rely on their wives. Next, the Jordan's interest in taking tea, but not in seeing the dead body of Abel. Next, the idea of preparing a list of assets before the funeral. The spat between the two sisters. The arguments between the two sisters to keep their father in their care after he decides to change his will. Last one, the decision of Abel to have a remarriage in old age. These are the main elements in this play. Children, what is the irony in the title, The Dear Departed? Here, Abel is not dear and precious to his daughters. His daughters only want his property and they are interested in the money or valuables what he wants. Both the families, here both the families means Amelia's family and Elizabeth's family, both they neglect their duties and responsibilities towards their father. As soon as they think he is dead, they start fighting over his assets. But what happens to his daughters at the end of the play? Money is dear to both the sisters, but the truth revealed in front of Abel, the money only departed from them. This is the irony in the title, The Dear Departed. This play vividly expresses the hollowness and vacuity of human relationship. Not only in the lesson, this is happening everywhere. We can witness these kind of situations around us. Children, in this slide, we can see some of the reasons for neglecting old people. There are several reasons, reasons for neglecting old people. Some of the reasons are given here. In here, main reasons are increasing cost of living, urbanization, and more interest on materialism, and increasing the trend of nuclear family culture and busy with work life. All these reasons lead to neglect them at their old age. Children, look at the pictures. Here we can see the old people are happy with their children, with grandsons and granddaughters. How happy they are with their family members. Here old people are sharing their love, affection with their loved ones. Look at. So, children, from this lesson, we have to learn that our parents are to be honored because they are God's representatives and our greatest benefactors. So, We should not neglect and abandon our parents in their old age. We should obey them and take care of them. And we should look after them with utmost care. We should treat them with dignity and respect. And we should listen to them and respect their wishes. And we should make time for them and should give support to them so that they will be happy in their old days. Children, I hope you have understood the lesson, the Dear Departed part 2 and its message, and hope you will become a good role model to the society by inculcating good qualities such as discipline, hard work, punctuality, generosity, and helping nature. I hope you build all these qualities and succeed in your life, and hope you will be happy with your parents by being responsible towards them. Okay, children, let us meet again. Thank you, one and all.